These videos were dismissed as hoaxes until details didn't add up. Clothing from the wrong era, technology decades ahead of its time, people appearing where they shouldn't exist. Coincidence or something far stranger? Join us and let's examine the most convincing footage of real-life time travelers ever recorded. Let's go.
Number 13. Edward's Journey to Year 5000. In 2004, Edward worked as a technical support engineer at a secret government laboratory in Los Angeles, where he helped develop innovative inventions, including a new generation of touchscreens. One night, Edward saw his friend James, a prominent scientist and inventor at the lab, taking equipment home. Later, James confided in Edward about his secret project, a time machine, and invited him to help, asking Edward to test the machine. Despite initial doubts, Edward accepted, motivated by the promise of solving his citizenship problems in the United States. Edward traveled to the year 5000 and found a post-apocalyptic Los Angeles submerged underwater due to catastrophic climate change. There he met Zach, a local leader, who explained that melting polar ice caps had caused massive flooding and civilization's collapse. Zach also revealed that world leaders had abandoned Earth. Upon returning to 2004, Edward shared his journey with James and showed him a photo of the flooded city as proof. The photograph showed recognizable Los Angeles landmarks, the Hollywood sign partially submerged, skyscraper tops jutting from water like islands, the Santa Monica Pier completely underwater. The water level in the image would require sea level rise of over 500 feet, which Edward calculated could only happen with complete polar ice melt. He described the air in year 5000 as thick and humid, the temperature unbearably hot, even at night. The few remaining humans lived in floating communities built from salvaged materials. Technology had regressed significantly because manufacturing infrastructure was destroyed. Zach explained that most human knowledge was preserved in underwater archives, protected by small groups of scholars.
Number 12. The 1943 beach phone user. Our addiction to phones defines this century more than anything else. In an extraordinary photo taken in September 1943, a man in a worn brown suit stands on Talwyn Beach in Newquay, Cornwall, apparently looking at an object that closely resembles a mobile phone. This fascinating image has sparked curiosity since the photo was taken almost 30 years before mobile phones were invented. The photograph shows British war workers enjoying a beach day, but many have speculated the man was a time traveler texting someone due to his modern posture and the mysterious object in his hands. Look at his stance, head down, shoulders slightly hunched, completely absorbed in whatever he's holding. That's the universal posture of someone checking their phone, and it was captured in 1943. The photo quality is clear enough to see he's not reading a book or looking at papers. The object appears to have a screen-like surface that reflects light differently than paper would. Wartime Britain was under strict rationing and communication restrictions, so any unusual device would have attracted immediate attention from authorities. Yet this man seems completely comfortable, as if what he's doing is perfectly normal. Other people in the photo don't seem to notice him, which is odd considering how out of place such technology would be. The photograph has been authenticated by multiple experts as genuinely from 1943, with no signs of digital manipulation or tampering.
I'm going to ask you a simple question. Are you a naturally curious person? If you're watching, I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. This space is made for people like us. To ensure you're always part of this community and receive all our latest discoveries, you just need to do one thing: subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to stay connected with us. Okay, now that you're part of our Legion of the Curious, let's move on to the next item.
Number 11. Michael Markin's accidental time portal. In 1995, Michael Markin, age 21, stole 6 power transformers from a Missouri power plant to build his own device. When he activated the machine, it created a small vortex resembling waves over a flame. Fascinated, Michael threw a bolt into the distortion, watching it disappear. When he turned off the machine, he was shocked to see the bolt fall back to the ground, leading him to believe he'd invented a teleportation device.
Each time he repeated the experiment, objects briefly disappeared before reappearing, making Michael wonder if he was teleporting them or sending them seconds into the future. His ambitions got him in legal trouble, resulting in a 60-day jail sentence and 5 years probation. Unexpectedly, radio host Ardell started helping him. Michael began experimenting with small animals, like mice and hamsters, before deciding to test the machine on himself. After traveling 800 miles east to Fairfield, Ohio, he appeared disoriented, without a license or money. At a homeless shelter, he discovered a newspaper revealing he jumped 2 years into the future. This led him to theorize that a specially constructed metal tube could act as a Faraday cage, allowing safe passage through his portal. The device consumed enormous amounts of electricity, causing power fluctuations across entire city blocks. Neighbors reported strange humming sounds and seeing blue light emanating from Michael's garage at odd hours. Objects that went through the portal returned with unusual properties. Metal became slightly magnetized. Organic materials showed accelerated aging at the molecular level.
Number 10. Charlie Chaplin's Cell Phone Woman. Irish filmmaker George Clark unleashed considerable speculation by claiming he discovered evidence of time travel. While watching the DVD version of Charlie Chaplin's 1928 film The Circus, Clark was intrigued by an extra scene. During the film's premiere, a mysterious woman appears holding an object resembling a cell phone as if in conversation. This observation is particularly striking since it occurred 45 years before the first commercial mobile phone was introduced in 1973. Clark's claim that the woman is using a device resembling a modern mobile phone has led to theories about time travel, and some suggest she could be a time traveler captured on film. The footage shows her walking alone, clearly talking, with the object pressed against her ear in the unmistakable gesture of phone use. Her lips move in animated conversation, she gestures with her free hand, and she's completely absorbed in whatever discussion she's having. The black rectangular object is clearly visible and doesn't match any known device from 1928. Hearing aids existed, but were large, clunky boxes worn on the chest with tubes to the ears. This is nothing like that. The woman's clothing and general appearance match 1920s fashion perfectly, except for this one impossible anachronism. Frame-by-frame analysis reveals the object has depth and dimension, ruling out simple shadows or misidentified ordinary items. She appears in the background for several seconds, giving viewers multiple angles to examine.
Number 9. Amsterdam 1931 Mobile Phone Woman. Restored footage of Amsterdam streets and shops from 1931 has sparked intrigue after being brought to life with advanced AI techniques. This vivid restoration lets viewers experience the bustling social atmosphere of the city during an era when Amsterdam was a hub of commerce and culture. While watching, viewers noticed a woman exiting a store, appearing to talk on what looks like a mobile phone. The streets of Amsterdam in 1931 were characterized by traditional architecture and lively commerce, with shops offering everything from clothing to local delicacies, and pedestrians navigating cobblestone streets in scenes of daily life. The image of a woman apparently using a phone raises eyebrows and makes one wonder if she could be a time traveler, since mobile phones wouldn't be invented until several decades after that year. The woman's body language is what makes this so compelling. She holds the object to her ear at the exact angle people use when talking on phones. She's clearly engaged in conversation, her lips moving, her facial expression showing concentration. The object itself is dark and rectangular, roughly phone-sized, nothing like the bulky communication devices that existed in 1931. Other pedestrians walk past her without reaction, suggesting either they don't notice or this was somehow normal in ways we don't understand. The AI restoration didn't add this detail. It was always in the original footage, just harder to see in the degraded film quality.
Number 8. Sergei Ponomarenko's Time Jump. Sergei Ponomarenko is associated with a strange time travel experience that has fascinated many. His story begins in Kiev, Ukraine, where he was found in 2006, dressed in outdated clothing and carrying an old camera. Sergei claimed to be from 1958 and said he saw a bell-shaped UFO just before mysteriously appearing in the future.
He described the UFO in unusual detail and claimed to have been either abducted by aliens or somehow transported through time. One of the most shocking aspects of his story is a photograph he supposedly sent to his girlfriend Valentina Coolidge, showing him in the year 2050 with a backdrop of skyscrapers that didn't exist in previous years. She was the last person to see him before his disappearance in 1970, and then she received that photo from 2050. When authorities questioned Sergei, he carried identification documents that appeared genuine but were decades out of date. The paper, ink, and printing techniques all matched 1958 standards perfectly, according to forensic analysis. His clothing showed wear patterns consistent with natural aging, not costume fabrication. Most remarkably, he had no knowledge of any historical events between 1958 and 2006. Major wars, technological innovations, political changes were all completely unknown to him. The photograph he carried showed Kiev as it was in 1958, with specific buildings and streets that were demolished in the 1960s. Valentina confirmed receiving a mysterious photograph in the mail decades ago, showing Sergei in what appeared to be a futuristic city, though she initially dismissed it as a cruel prank.
Number 7. The shadow figure at Bolivian Stadium. A football match at Hernando Siles Stadium in Bolivia has unleashed a wave of intrigue and speculation due to a shadowy figure caught on camera. Footage that quickly circulated across various social media platforms shows this creepy figure moving through the net, separating spectators from the field, apparently moving with purpose before disappearing on the other side. Fans and spectators analyzing the video wonder about the identity of this shadowy figure. Some attribute it to a ghost's presence, while others suggest it could be a time traveler. Hernando Siles Stadium, known for its rich history and vibrant atmosphere, has witnessed countless unforgettable moments in Bolivian football. However, this haunting appearance adds an unexpected twist to the stadium's legacy. Fans have speculated it could be the spirit of a passionate fan or a former player who remains connected with the game at the stadium. The figure appears to pass through solid netting as if it's not there, defying physical loss. Its movement is fluid but unnaturally fast, covering distances that would take a human several seconds in less than one. The shadow has humanoid shape but lacks distinct features or details. Multiple camera angles captured the same phenomenon simultaneously, ruling out simple camera glitches or lens flares. Spectators near where the figure appeared reported sudden temperature drops and feelings of unease. The incident occurred during a crucial championship match, leading some to theorize spirits or time travelers are drawn to historically significant moments.
Number 6. Rudolph Fentz Deadly Time Jump. Remember that scene from Captain America, the First Avenger, where Steve Rogers wakes from his frozen state and runs into Times Square? Something similar may have happened in real life. Rudolph is a man who allegedly traveled mysteriously through time from the late 19th century to the mid-20th century. According to the story, Fentz disappeared in 1876 and reappeared in 1950 in Times Square, New York, dressed in outdated clothing and carrying items from his original era. Shortly after his arrival, he was hit by a car and fatally injured. Among his belongings were old bills, a beer token, and a letter dated 1876. Witnesses described his confusion and terror as cars rushed past him at speeds he couldn't comprehend. He reportedly screamed about mechanical beasts and tried to flee, running directly into traffic. The clothing he wore showed no signs of costume wear or theatrical use. It was genuine 1870s fabric with period-appropriate stitching and materials that had naturally aged. His pockets contained coins that were authentic 19th century currency, still in circulation in 1876, but decades out of use by 1950. Police found a letter addressed to him at an address that had been demolished in 1897. Most bizarrely, records showed a Rudolph Fentz had indeed disappeared without a trace in 1876, reported missing by his family, with newspaper clippings matching this exact case.
Number 5. The 1943 Iceland Soldier's Future Phone. People on Facebook revealed a mysterious figure captured in a black and white photo from the 1940s.
The mystery unfolds in 1943 Reykjavik, Iceland, where American soldiers were stationed during World War II. This mysterious man was spotted among the soldiers and appears to be communicating with a device that looks way too advanced for the time. Instead of wearing military clothing, he's dressed in a light-colored trench coat. What really caught attention is how he holds his hand to his ear, as if using a modern mobile phone and talking. The angle of his arm, the position of his fingers, everything screams phone conversation in a way that didn't exist back then. World War II Iceland was a strategic military outpost, heavily monitored and photographed for security reasons. Every person on that base was documented, yet this man in civilian clothes appears in multiple photos from that day without any official record of who he was. His clothing style doesn't match 1940s fashion. The cut of his coat, the fit of his trousers, even his hairstyle looks distinctly modern. Soldiers standing near him seem unaware of his presence, almost as if he's phasing in and out of their reality. The device he's holding catches light in a way that suggests a reflective screen surface, not the matte finish of any 1940s communication equipment. Military historians have no explanation for his presence or identity.
Number 4. The cyborg from 2050. What would you do if your child suddenly claimed to be a cyborg? A mother recently appeared on The Phil Show, sharing that her son Oring, shortly after graduating, revealed he's a mechanized cyborg from the year 2050. According to Oring, he's part of a collective intelligence sent back in time by superior beings to warn humanity of an impending apocalypse. To get his message heard, he claims to have adopted a hip-hop personality to gain social media followers. His mother remains skeptical of this story. She believes Oren uses this elaborate cyborg narrative as an excuse to stay home without contributing financially, suggesting he should focus on finding a job instead of obsessing over the world's possible end. Oring has detailed knowledge of future events that he claims will unfold over the next few decades, including specific technological developments and global conflicts. He speaks about the year 2050 with the kind of specific detail that seems impossible to fabricate. Street names that don't exist yet, corporations that haven't been founded, political leaders not yet born. His mother admits he's always been unusually intelligent and has made several predictions about technology trends that later came true, though she attributes this to luck and good guessing. Oring maintains he was sent back specifically because of his unique ability to blend into this time period and communicate warnings without causing mass panic. He's created detailed timelines of events leading to 2050, all stored on his computer, which he guards obsessively.
Number 3. The Salamanca Cathedral Astronaut. Salamanca Cathedral guards a puzzling secret. Among the many historical figures carefully carved into ancient stones, there's an astronaut, a figure that seems impossibly out of place. Some whisper this sculpture is the work of a time traveler, a silent witness to technology that shouldn't have existed in the past. Although in 1992 a restorer was authorized to add contemporary figures, the question remains whether this story is just a smokescreen to hide a much deeper truth. Was this statue a glimpse of a forgotten time, or proof of a mysterious journey through space and time? The astronaut wears what appears to be a complete spacesuit, including a helmet with a visor, life support systems, and even what looks like communication equipment. The level of detail is extraordinary for something supposedly added in 1992. Every seal, every joint, every piece of equipment is rendered with precision that suggests actual knowledge of spacesuit construction. The cathedral dates back to the 12th century, and the stone surrounding the astronaut shows the same weathering and aging as other genuinely ancient carvings. Chemical analysis of the stone hasn't been conclusive about when this specific figure was added. What's particularly strange is that no documentation exists of the 1992 restoration adding this figure. No photographs of the work in progress, no official records, nothing. The restorer who supposedly added it has never been definitively identified, and church records from that period are mysteriously incomplete. Number 2. The 1999 Panama Canal iPad. In December 1999, a historic moment took place when Colombian President Andrés Pastrana attended the Panama Canal transfer ceremony from the United States to Panama. This significant event symbolized the end of an era, with control of the vital waterway returned to the Panamanian people after nearly a century of American dominance. With dignitaries from various countries present, the ceremony received wide media coverage. During the event, a video clip emerged that unleashed much speculation among viewers. At one point, someone in the crowd appears to hold an object remarkably similar to a modern iPad, as if taking a photo or video. This sighting is especially notable since the ceremony took place in 1999, more than a decade before the iPad launched in 2010. The video has fueled online discussions, with many questioning the authenticity of what was seen. Could someone have been using an impossibly futuristic device for the time? The footage shows the person holding the flat, tablet-sized device in landscape orientation, their fingers positioned exactly as iPad users would hold it. The device appears to have a glowing screen, visible even in daylight. Its thickness matches iPad dimensions, not the bulky laptops or cameras available in 1999. Security footage from multiple angles shows the same person throughout the ceremony, always holding this device. They appear to be recording or photographing, periodically looking at the screen, then back at the stage.
Number 1. The Ancient Greek Laptop Mystery. Back in ancient Greece, they already had the Antikythera mechanism, known as the world's first analog computer. But what happens when we find evidence of a USB port in Greek art? Throughout history, countless inventions seemingly ahead of their time have been linked to ancient Greek civilization. There's this Greek sculpture that people claim shows a woman using a laptop computer, and believers call it proof of time travel. The carving, created around 100 BC, sits in the J. Paul Getty Museum in Malibu, California. The woman, likely a servant, appears to touch the top of what looks like a laptop with USB ports while staring intently at it with her stone eyes. The detail is uncanny. The rectangular object has the exact proportions of a modern laptop, and the woman's posture mirrors how we interact with technology today. Experts have debated whether this represents a mirror, a jewelry box, or something else entirely, but the similarity to modern tech is striking. The sculpture was discovered in a tomb and has been authenticated as genuinely ancient, ruling out modern forgery. What makes this particularly intriguing is how the artist captured such specific details that perfectly match technology that wouldn't exist for over 2,000 years. The way her fingers rest on the device, the angle of her gaze, even the size and shape all align with contemporary laptop design. Some researchers suggest it could represent a wax tablet used for writing, but the proportions don't quite match historical examples. Others point out that if time travelers wanted to remain undetected, they probably wouldn't pose for sculptures. Yet here we are, staring at what appears to be undeniable evidence carved in stone millennia ago.
Still curious? Then don't stop now. The next mystery is already waiting for you. Just click the video on screen. I saved it just for you. See you there, curious one.